Okay, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all appropriate ages. A little while ago, I did a video on how Honor and Duty doesn't seem to have anyone playing multiplayer anymore. And I was just going through, like, my VR collection, and I was wondering, what other games seem to have died, or people have stopped playing for whatever reason, or could have had more in order to keep some longevity running in it. So I'm just going to do a quick compilation of some of the games that I have in VR and say what I think about why it died before its time, or what it can do to get more people back into playing it. Just my little opinion. And I thought I'd start with, because this is going to be like one of the few racing games on it, because I may do another one later for racing games individually. We have Radial G, Racing Revolved, which, in all fairness, I thoroughly enjoyed. It was a great idea, bit different to Wipeout on the fact that you're racing on a tube and not in a track as such. The maps were interesting, weapons and game types were fun. The career was a bit short, so they could have extended the career in order to keep people playing it. But I don't think that was the case of people not continuing to play this, especially on multiplayer. I think with the release of the Wipeout Omega collection, that played a big factor. People were waiting for that for a long time. We finally got it, and that's an incredible game. But I think that kind of helped with the demise of this game. But also, another thing that I think, did this game in a bit was you didn't really have to play multiplayer to perfect the game. There were no multiplayer trophies whatsoever. So, you know, if they had added like a patch with multiplayer trophies, that would have been interesting. It had a very good selection of racing games and game types in general, and it had a good selection of weapons. So I think just it needed something to get people to play multiplayer more, and trophies would have helped a lot. Another thing that I think would have helped would have been because you've got your different ships which are in different classes, but you don't have a selection of different ships in different classes, and you can't like color customize them or your outfit. So that would have been interesting. That would have been a nice addition to the game, and I don't know if the company is gonna continue to add to this in the future to help try and get anyone to continue to play it, but because basically once you perfect it, you can just throw it away. No one's going to be playing online. I tried setting up events ages ago before Wipeout Omega Collection came out, and no one joined a single event. It was kind of upsetting, to be honest. So yeah, if it had added like trophies for multiplayer, if it added different ships and some customization of the ships and your character's outfit, I think that would have helped. But like I said, with Wipeout Collection being here, you know, 3 Wipeout games in one package, all VR. We've been waiting for it for a while. We got it, and then this just hit the back burner badly. With that being said, that's just my little take on this game in particular. Let's move on to the next one. Alright, another game. Even though this is a fairly recent game, so I can't really say much about how
Hey rookie,
this has died yet.
over here.
You be quiet.
Familiarize yourself with the feat. Well done. That's 10 rounds. Well done. That's 10 rounds.
So yeah, Dark Legion for PSVR. Great game, fun game to have. Worth the price tag it has on it. The only thing I will say
This is an ammunitions chest. And
Shut
loot
up.
its supplies.
It has, I mean, for the price tag it is still a bit of a short game. It has a plot, has a story, which is important.
Here we've got the novice training
glide?
schedule.
You on wheelies?
Complete the list to become a true soldier.
Love, I am a true soldier. Okay. The only reason I'm adding this to the list is because I'm hoping in the near future, because it doesn't feel like the story was finished, because you're meant to find an energy source to refuel your ship so you can get off the planet. That never happened in the end. Spoilers. So hopefully we see some DLC for this, or a sequel in the near future, because that would be... And also the controls could do with a bit of a tune-up. There should be an option to change the sound, subtitles. It doesn't have any of that, so hopefully if they add any DLC or do a sequel in the future, some of those things get added to it. That's all I really have to say about Dark Legion, because I personally enjoyed the hell out of this game. And with that being said, on to the next one. And as for the next game, it is Lethal VR. And this is basically like a training sim. Let's not go beginner. Actually, let's go beginner. I'm only going to do a short video on this. Point and click. So yeah, it is basically just a training sim. Firing range, different courses. Yeah, it's basically just little scenarios like that. Get out of there. Bonus, powerful weapon. So yeah, different handheld weapons. Basically just gold-plated gun. And you've got movie weapons as a bonus level for each. Shit. Out of the way. God damn it. Oh, there was one there. Yeah, I'm too focused on talking. So, yeah, basically you've got pistols, mini Uzis, throwing knives, and bonus weapons like the golden gun here. Oh, come on, I shot him. The fuck was that? Piece of shit. But yeah, as I'm trying to quickly get across. So yeah, there was the golden gun. You've got pistols, you've got mini Uzis, you've got throwing knives, you've got ninja death stars, you've got... Hell, even in... What one is it? Amateur sim? This is a knife. You've got... Obviously... the Crocodile Dundee knife. You've got Dirty Harry's revolver. And I enjoy this game. You know, if you've just got a bit of frustration going on at work, you can just come here and shoot the crap out of targets, or throw knives at targets and what have you. I don't know if they're going to add any more to this. It's been a while since it's been out, so I'm not sure if they will, but you know, there are many more classic weapons from movies and video games and other different obstacle courses they could have added to this. So, hopefully in the future we see some more of that, because it would be nice to find a reason to continue to play this game. Alright, and on to something that I thought might be pretty obvious at this point in this video. Raw data. When it first came out, I'd seen it played by other YouTubers like Lonely Viper, and it looked incredible. And when we heard we were going to get it over to PSVR, I thought, fantastic. I cannot wait. But unfortunately, when it first came over, it felt just like a bad port. You know, it graphically still doesn't really look that good in comparison. And it was riddled with bugs and crashes and save game file corruptions. So it didn't have the best launch, if we're honest. And I've played it a few times since then with a couple of updates that have come out, and I was hoping for a little bit of an up-res on the graphics. And I mean, it's got a long campaign, so I enjoy that. You've got various different characters, so you've got pistols, you've got swords, you've got shotguns, you've got bows. You've got different abilities for each character to unlock, so they're nice, don't get me wrong. But in comparison to what the Vive got, get out of town. I mean, one thing I would like to see in this game that PSVR never got when it got crossed over was multiplayer. I was looking forward to some multiplayer action for this. Never got it, and I doubt we ever will, because obviously they made Sprint Vector, which is awesome. And they've got a kind of like Knockout League version of a Creed coming at the end of the year. So, will we ever see multiplayer for this? Highly doubtful. It would be nice if we were to get it one day. And some nicer looking graphics, but then that's just me nitpicking on the graphics. I just wished this game had some multiplayer and a better launch, because I know that put a lot of people off to begin with. So yeah, that's all I've got to say about raw data. Okay, here we go. Firing range? Yep. So ladies and gentlemen, this is VR Invaders, and it is titled Complete Edition, which made no sense to me, because one thing it did not feel was complete. And I'm getting my ass kicked trying to talk, but then again I've already got the trophies for what you have to do on this particular game type, so I'm not really that fussed. But one thing I would have loved to have seen this do is extend its story, because after 8 missions it feels like that was just chapter 1. It could have done with a hell of a lot more chapters. Who cares? Let's go to the menu. So, I mean, yeah, we could have had, after just 8 chapters, kind of like with Dark Legion, it could have had some DLC for, I mean, they call those chapters, but I call that just like parts 1 to 8 of chapter 1. I would have loved to have seen a DLC to expand the story, or a sequel, because as far as I was concerned, this was not a complete edition of a game. And last but not least, we have this game. Mortal Blitz. And I think it's pretty obvious why this will be in my list, because since day one, I have been waiting for part 2, or I should say episode 2 as it says at the end of the game, to arrive, and yet it has not. And the game was fun, and all of us that wanted a Time Crisis style game, we got it with this, but you only had a few levels, and the promise of an episode 2, which never arrived. You had a training room, which was fun and challenging, but you know, this was so much fun, and I doubt we'll ever get Time Crisis or the House of the Dead collection in VR. If we did, they would be amazing. But this could have had so much more potential. Can't remember how you pick up shit. It's been a while since I played this. You know what? Fuck it. But yeah, this game had so much potential. It was too short. We were promised that we were expecting an episode 2, as it said at the end. We never got it. Which is thoroughly disappointing. And there's not really much else to say. I mean, I've even tried contacting Skonek multiple times and got no reply whatsoever, which is really disheartening. Come on, answer your fans, give them what the hell they want and were expecting. I mean, Jesus Christ. This game had so much potential, could have been so much more. It looks great, it feels great. When you play the missions and the training room, the further you get, you unlock more stuff. I mean, I do like this gun colour loadout that I unlocked. But, come on Skonek, respond, give us something, tell us if there is ever really going to be a part 2. Because I'm getting pissed off waiting around. Other than that, if you actually a couple of honourable mentions, because DWVR is a good game, is a fun game, but very repetitive. There's only 2 different bosses. If they ever add more to it, I think they can easily add more to it in terms of levels, enemy types and boss types. The weapons are cool. I'm completely fine with those, and so are the controls. And also another honourable mention, the PlayStation VR World disc that came out on launch, because the Odyssey game and what the hell was the other game I was thinking of? London Heist. You know, they could easily have like more story and expansion on the games, because they were pretty fun, and I was kind of upset, or saddened I should say, that they weren't as long as they could have been. Or the story was left unfinished. I would like to see more games have their story finished, or if they're being ported over from Vive or Oculus, at least give us the same kind of thing that they got. Jesus Christ. Or if you're going to be a developer, Skonek, deliver on what you fucking say you're going to give us. But that's my little rant over for this video. If there's a game that you feel could have had more to help keep its playability going, or what we should have got with the game, let me know in the comments. And I shall see you all later.